Hey, how are you doing? Twitter dismissed 7,500 workers that account for half of entire employees there. And Meta running Facebook also dismissed 11,000 workers that are 1% of entire employees there. So these tech giants expanded its business with a background of increase in huge digital demands due to coronavirus pandemic. But while the economy is getting worse and worse due to extreme inflation hike, there are concerns about serious economic recession in the world, and their profits and revenues are under serious pressure of such a circumstance, and they're forced to make a drastic change and to make a drastic decision to reduce the cost. So employees working there are directly suffering the disadvantages of these companies downsizing, restructuring. So especially most of sales revenue of Meta highly depend on advertising revenue that is easily influenced by economic situation in the world, and it got a headwind of negative effect of advertising agency business. So the business achievement of social media as main business of Meta has not been really favorable recently. So Meta has invested a lot of management resources into Metaverse, which is the online virtual space that is expected to be the next primary source of revenue, but it's too far to monetize and make short-term profit at this point of time, so that shareholders of Meta are not really happy with that. So in the past 3 years, Meta doubled the number of employees, but in reversal, recently Meta was driven into the situation that it forced itself to execute mass layoffs. So the tech giants have kept hiring employees with the momentum of rapid and sharp growth that they have experienced during the middle of coronavirus pandemic, even after the year changed from 2021 to 2022. So at the time that economic downturn was regarded as a sure thing, there were serious concerns that tech companies that highly depend on advertising agency business were under serious pressure of cost reduction control. There might be people who wonder why such a big tech company with high absolute profit percentage like Meta has fallen into such a situation. But if the growth rate of stock price doesn't reach the people's expectation, a stock price naturally goes down. So if it so happened the company would face hardship to collect excellent workers from labor market, because attractiveness of stock compensation that employees should receive would reduce, right? So moreover, in the current economic situation, the yield rate of US dollar is going up sharply because of monetary tightening policy by the US for settling domestic inflation hike. So revenue and profit of tech giants that are making huge investments to facilities and research and development are made in an environment where it's easy to be influenced by inflation hike. So simply speaking, tech companies are in a really difficult situation to keep bearing heavy running costs due to fracturing advertising revenue and extreme salary increase thanks to extreme inflation hike. So, and there's also a possibility that is forced to release excellent employees by the influence of reinforcement of taxation to companies in the United States. On the other hand, there's an optimistic perspective that the fact that tech giants decided to step into downsizing restructuring in the form of labor cost reduction may become the trigger for having an environment where new startups come out and gives other small tech companies great chances to grow up through acquisition of excellent workers that originally used to work in tech giants.